Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're doing something a little different. We were this morning, as you know, we worked out this morning. We did buys this morning, right? And so once what we're gonna start doing is at least once a week we're gonna come on here. We're gonna talk this real talk stuff, right? Whether we have a guest or if it's just me, right? And some things that need to be said, that need to be put out there to our people, right? Our men, women, black, white, doesn't matter what color. Like I said, we all are human. We all here together, right? So, again, please have people share it, subscribe, hit the like button. That we are going to be bringing in some good content, right? And it's needed, right? I'll tell you a little bit about myself. Yes, for those who don't know, I was born and raised in Camden, New Jersey. Single mom. She raised 4 boys and 3 girls, and she was our driving force. She was the one that got us through what we need to get through in them tough times in Camden, right? We were She raised us on welfare, right? Raised us all 7 on welfare, $3,000 a year on food stamps, and $3,000 a year plus food stamps, and that Medicaid card, right? So I know it was tough on my mom, but she was such a driving force in our lives that's what made us stronger, right? I know many times that she made sure that we had food and she didn't have none, right? She always made sure we ate. So I can never say we were never hungry, right? And a lot of times, man, if that's all you know, that's all you know. We only got 2 pair of pants or 2 shirts, whatever. That's what it was. So we knew that she was doing the best that she could do, right? But I believe that us being in the house together as a family, right, as siblings, we were close. We were just close because that's all we had, right? Living together, 4 boys and 2 girls. So uh, growing up there is what made me the man I am today. You know, I believe that by the grace of God, and having my mother, a strong woman in the house, made it possible for us to be where we are. All of us successful and made it out of Camden. And like I said before, that was by the grace of God. That was by her, by my mother, Glow. That's why the site is named Glow Power, because in the power of Glow, Gloria Brown, that was my mother. That's how we made it out. God was first, but Glow Power wasn't for her. We wouldn't be the people that we are today. My siblings are, spending make careers out of the military and went on and had successful lives in with the government. So I know that people complain about they don't have this and they don't have that, but I know that it can be done. I know that I'm watching how the juvenile rate is running rampant with juveniles in trouble. And the reason why I believe is that the father doesn't stay in those young men's lives, right? There's no excuse for us men, not to stay in our kids' life. No matter what's going on between you and mama, how bad she hates you, you hate her. You can't be selfish and not be in those kids' life. That's why I believe that's why I know that the juvenile rate is high. The crime rate of juveniles is high. Because that father figure is not in his life. Or the mother is so feeling so guilty because the father's not in the kid's life that she just giving him anything, or she's not strong enough to be in his life, to strong enough to control him. Because once they start getting up in age, a lot of times the kids, boys and girls too, start smelling their urine, their piss, and no one's there to take care of that, right? To correct them and make when they're wrong, make them right. So men, we have to do a better job in staying in our kids' lives. No matter what's going on with you and mama, you have to make a conscious effort. If you guys have problems, domestic problems, fine. Have the cops drop them off to the police station, whatever, and you're going to meet them there. But you have to be in those kids' lives, right? Have to be. I was just fortunate and blessed enough. My father was there. He was on the other side of town. But my mother was the one that she ruled with the iron fist, and I'm glad she did. Because if she didn't rule with the iron fist, I wouldn't be here today speaking to you on this channel. So we have to make a conscious effort to stay in our children's lives. Keep them kids out of juvenile. Stop letting them guys think it's okay to go ahead and do this to these kids. Because the only reason why they're doing it because you're allowing it, because you're not in those kids' lives. They need that role model. They need that father figure, right? They need that. Shouldn't have to be a mentor in their life. You should be in their life. Something different if the parent is deceased. I get that, right? So then an uncle or a brother who somebody would step in. But I know what helped me was my mother, my oldest brother. So he was like 7 years older than us. So we watched everything he did. So if he played football, I want to play football. He was a left guard, I want to be a left guard. He was doing positive things. So when he was doing positive things, I want to do positive things. So that's so important. I learned that way back then. To having that positive role model in your life. And it should be your father, right? But for me, it was my mother and my oldest brother. They were truly my role models. Because my mom I see her grinding. I saw her working. I see her doing what she had to do, right? So that's why we can't make excuses. Why we can't do things. That's why we have to stay in our children's lives. Stay in these young men's lives. Stay in your daughter's life. Men, hug your daughter. Let her know that you love her. This is what's important, right? I've seen so many times growing up in the hood where I see all these fancy cars in the hood. But most of us, not all of us, but most of us was on welfare, right? So how do I see a fancy car in the hood, but you ain't got a driveway to put it in? That don't make no sense. Because we're so caught up in materialistic stuff. And our kids see that, and they want materialistic stuff. Instead of saying, no, the right thing to do is you get your education. Get your education, then you handle your business. That's what you do. Not being all caught up in the fancy cars, the fancy clothes, and the fancy sneakers. I can never see people buying $250 pair of sneakers. I still don't. It still doesn't register in my brain to be able to spend that kind of money on a pair of sneakers. I always tell my kids, if I ask Michael Jordan or LeBron James or any of them guys for $500 for your education, do you think they would give me $500 for your education? No. They wouldn't even answer my email. We gonna keep this shit real. They wouldn't even answer my email. You wouldn't even reach them. So we don't promote buying superstars clothes or all that kind of stuff. They got theirs. We're not gonna promote that. Promote positive stuff. Because you paying all that money for them kind of clothes or sneakers, but you ain't got no food in the refrigerator. That don't make sense. So we never did that. I never bought no fancy sneakers for my kids. Now they get grown, they want to buy what they want to buy, that's their business. But when they live in my house, we didn't do that. Because I was not promoting that. Because like I said, if I asked them guys for a dime, I wasn't getting it. If I said not for no food, education, right? To put my kids through school. So I don't expect them to do that. But again, I know if I ask them, I wasn't getting it. So why should I promote that? Them $250 pair of LeBron James or Michael Jordan's, whoever sneakers they are. No, I wasn't doing it. So that materialistic stuff, when you live up in the hood and you buying all that fancy stuff, but you can't even buy no food to put on your kids' table. That don't make sense. Again, men, stay in your son's life. Stay in your daughter's life. Man, you want to be in your daughter's life so your daughter, when she get older, she ain't run into a man because the father was never in her life. That's what usually happens. Because they're looking for love and they're all the wrong places. Women, stop bringing all type of men around your kids. You want to have company? Have company. But no way you should bring around the men around your kids. Because it will have an effect on them when they get older. Believe me. So, let's take care of business. Let's take care of our families. Right? My job is to make sure that I guide my kids to be the best, right? My job is to motivate them to be the best men and women they could be, right? That's my job as their father. They have to see strength. They have to see honor, trustworthy. I know. They know they did call me. I'm gonna be there. They have to recognize strength. Like I mentioned before in one of my videos, I have to be the alpha dog. I'm the alpha of the house. There has to be an alpha in the house. That's what keeps that control. That's what keeps them guys, them kids from going to juvenile. Because someone's there, sitting on the couch when you come in the house. Someone's there in their lives. Not to where they run in the house, come and going as they please. And mom trying to work 2 jobs to feed them, but the kid is still acting a fool because there's no guidance, right? She's trying her best to make sure they're good. But at the same time, she got to be, hey, you got to rule with them. You can't be their friend. Cannot be their friend. Be their mother, be their father. Y'all be friends later. Somebody asked me, hey, would you go to a strip club with your kid, your son? No. Lose all type of respect. He would lose all type of respect to me as his father. Why would you do that? No, I would not go to a strip club with my kid. It's about respect. About honor. Right? I always told my kids, don't shame your name. As one thing you come in this world with, your name, and you leave here with your name. So don't put shame on your name. We all gonna make mistakes. No doubt. We all gonna make mistakes. But let us learn from our mistakes. Right? Let's learn from our mistakes. We have to make sure that we spread that love to our families. That's what's missing in our society, especially a lot of times in the black household. That stigma that you can't tell your kids that you love them, you can't hug them. That's missing, and we need to do that. It doesn't make you soft because you tell your kid that you love them. It doesn't make you soft because you hug your kid. Hug your children. Tell them you love them. We have to get over that. Get them old ways out your head. That's that old school stuff, that old back in the 50s stuff, 60s stuff, that you had to be so tough that you couldn't hug your kid. You couldn't tell them you love them. A lot of times kids are looking for that. So that's why they go out and do stupid stuff, because they're looking for that to somebody tell them they love them. But that's why all these guys, a lot of times you see where these guys are joining these gangs, right? So what did the gangs tell them? Hey man, I love you, bro. I love you. And that's why they run to them, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that. But if the father is home, guiding his son, you won't have a lot of these problems. I'm not saying it would be 100% ironclad, but you better believe that statistics will be better than what we have now. Too many young men out here lost their lives to this gang stuff. And why? Because most of the time, the father was not in their kid's life. And even if he is home sometimes, the father's still there, he's so drunk and high, he still ain't in his life. So we got to do better. Turn on the news in the morning, the Philadelphia News, and all you hear is young men, young teenagers getting killed. Number one, I ask myself, like, damn, what you doing at 2 o'clock in the morning? When I go to sleep at night, my kids better be in the house. Some of them, they older, they go out and do what they gotta do, but I'm staying up until they get in. That's part of being a parent. That's the sacrifice that we made for being a parent. Them kids, our children didn't ask to come in this world. Whatever we did, lay down, stood up, whatever we did to have them, this is why these kids are here. So it's about a sacrifice, right? I can't go party like it's 1999. No. It's a sacrifice. Now, when they get grown, and I'm still around and able to go and travel and do what I gotta do, I do it. But it's the sacrifice, and that's my sacrifice. My job is to make sure they're good. My job is to make sure they're good. So that means by any means necessary. So that means back in the day, if you had to work 4 or 5, it didn't make it right by working on that. But you want to make sure they was right? Make sure they had a good roof over their head, right? Make sure they was comfortable. And nothing better than come home, have a roof over your head and a peace of mind. When you put your head on that pillow, you have a peace of mind. And that's what it's all about. Us taking back the household, guys. Black men, take your house back. Love your kids. Hold your kids. White men, take your house back. You got some white juveniles too. Take your house back. You be the alpha of the house. You be the guy to get the last piece of chicken. That's just a metaphor, meaning that they know who runs the house. Mama make tough decisions. That last decision supposed to come from you. You supposed to be guiding. But you can't be guiding if you're high. You can't be guiding if you're running in the street. And what's going to happen, those kids are going to lose all respect for you. Now, mom and dad, you guys broke up from each other, right? You guys broke up, cool. Hey, you guys couldn't get along, divorce, whatever, right? One thing you shouldn't do is badmouth each other to your children. Don't do that. Because them kids are listening to what you say about their parent. About their mom or their dad. They're listening. And they're going to hold that against you. That you badmouthing them. Right? So, if you can't say nothing nice at all about that person, just don't say nothing at all. Cannot sit there and badmouth the other person because you still ain't over them or whatever's going on and you want to dog them. Don't do that. That's still that kid's parent. That's still his dad or his mom. They love him. That's all that matters. We got to remember, it's what's best for them. We are the ones that lay down, made these kids or whatever, and it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. Can't be selfish. So this is the type of topics that we will be talking about in the near future. Again, when we will have people on here, we'll have guests on here to talk, just talking, chopping it up. Real life situations that need to be fixed. This is one that was on my heart, that was in my spirit. But there's too many juveniles out here in the street with no guidance, in the juvenile homes with no guidance. Because why? Most of the time, the father's not around. They're shooting up the club and they leaving. Gotta have some guidance in the house. That's what that structure's for, right? The OJ song, the OJ's Ocean Family Reunion talks about that, right? Starts from the grandfather on down, right? The patriarch, right? That starts with him, right? That's needed. That's what's missing. That's what's missing from the black home. I'll go back to Camden and I see. I'll go back and watch. I see, right? A lot of times, a lot of us guys that get out, make it out, we forget where we came from. We don't go back to help. We don't go back to have some type of guidance, right? Don't want to help these young men. Go help, right? Go back and feed the homeless. Doesn't make you soft. One thing we can't do is forget where we came from. So people see this and think, oh, he's soft. No, it ain't about soft. It's about giving. It's about loving. About caring for someone besides yourself. So we see all this materialistic stuff here, right? That we have here right now on Earth. But we forget and realize that this is just temporary, man. Just temporary. So let's do what we do. Let's make sure we let's win our kids back. Win our boys back. Win our girls back. Win them back. is needed. We got to stop thinking about ourselves and worry about these kids that we made. And men, like I said before, just because your mama got a problem, don't mean that you're supposed to run about the house and leave those kids. Because it's hurting the kids. It might be hurting mama a little bit, because she got to do all the stuff herself, right? Because you're not there because you ran off. And even if you, like I said, you can't be there with, be in their life, right? Bring them there for the summer. Bring them on weekends. Make them on your weekends, right? Do what you have to do. But you have to be in their life, because they know if they know that you're in their lives, then they won't be doing all the stupid stuff they're doing, right? Grades won't be down. They won't be running the street. Won't be finding the wrong guys to hang with, right? Won't be finding the older guys to hang with because they're looking for that father figure, whatever, right? We have to stay in their lives. It is what it is. Women, when a lot of times these guys have relationships, men and women have new relationships, right? And that woman sees that guy moved on in his life or whatever. Don't hate on that don't hate on that relationship. Just be happy that that man is still in your child's life. Put your feelings to the side. It's all about the kids, right? Put your feelings to the side. Stop being sensitive. You move on with your life. Life is too short, right? We have to move on with our lives. And don't hate on the other person trying to mess them up so much to where they can't get on what they're doing. Y'all done. Only thing y'all have in common now is that the children, right? If you have 1, 2, whatever, how many children you might have. That's what you have in common. Make sure they're good. Make sure they graduate and finish high school. Make sure they're great. That's the key. A lot of times people still, over years, and they're still hating on each other. For what? Hating on each other for what? We have to stop it, guys. Stop running each other off. We're losing too many of our kids to the streets, through jail and through death. And most time it starts from why? That father didn't stay in the house. If you know you can't take care of a kid, if you know you just shooting up whatever you're doing, leave the woman alone. Just leave her alone. If you know you're not coming there with the right frame of mind, just leave her alone. Real simple. We're losing too many of our children to the street and to the cemetery. We have to be more conscious of what we do. Again, women, stop feeling guilty because he ain't around. That dude left or whatever. And you want to give the kids everything. Don't do that. They ain't doing nothing but hurting your kid. Hurting your son, hurting your daughter. That's all it's doing. Because you feel that you have to give them everything. You don't have to give them everything. No. It's okay to tell them no. It's okay to tell them no. You don't have it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. But you think because your parents, the dad ain't there no more, or the mom ain't there no more, whatever, they feel guilty, and they want to give them everything. And then what the kid's going to do? He's going to take advantage. The kid's not your friend. That's your son or that's your daughter. Treat him as such. Nothing wrong with discipline. They ain't doing what they're supposed to do. You got to discipline them. Well, that doesn't mean taking the phone away from them, whatever you got to do. But you can't just let them run the house. Again, like I said before, got to be an alpha in the house. So that means, mom, if you're in there by yourself, guess you got to be the alpha. Somebody has to be, those kids ain't supposed to be the alpha. Like in my house, I'm the alpha. Has to be control. Has to be rules. Got to be laws, right? If there's no rules, there's no law in the house, kids will run amok. They do what they want to do. Tell you a story. My son was going to... He was in... I wouldn't let him play PlayStation. So, the only reason why I did let him play PlayStation because his mother got sick. Mother came down with stage 4 cancer. And I said, well, we got to go back and forth to the hospital. I said, look, you can play PlayStation. He said, I knew something was wrong, but Dad let me play PlayStation. So I knew I want to be the devil's, but he said, I don't mind the devil's workshop, right? So I didn't want that beef for him, right? So he played it all the way until once the 8th grade, whatever, because he got sick when he was 7th grade. So when it's time for him to play football and play and go to school, high school and stuff like that, I said, no what, bro? You're doing too much. You got 3 things going on. You're playing PlayStation all the time. You got football practice. You got school. I'm going to decide for you what you're going to do. I decided that he wasn't going to play PlayStation no more. So everybody asked me, hey, you don't take the PlayStation out the room? You don't take the controllers out the room? No. He knew not to touch the PlayStation. I don't care what's in the room. If I tell you don't touch it, I mean don't touch it. I have to decide what's best for you. I knew that the schoolwork was best for him. The school was going to be, and I knew the football. Not meaning that I knew he was going to be a great star or whatever. But I knew what football was going to give him. I knew by playing team sports was going to give him discipline, right? And teamwork, right? And know how to work together with people, right? So he's not selfish. And that's what we have a lot going on with these kids. They're selfish. A lot of selfish kids, right? So, whole time he's in high school, that stuff together. He's on the honor roll, and that carried on to him to go to college too, right? So, I said, look, you know what I expect of you. Do you want me to treat you like a child or a young man? Now, you want me to treat you like a young man? I'll treat you like a young man. Treat you like a child? I'm gonna treat you like a child. So he knew what I expected of him. To this day, he's in his 3rd year in college, Dean's List, because he knows what I expect of him. You gotta let a child know what you expect of him. You can do. These are my rules I have for you. This is what I expect you to do. Expectations, and I expect them to be done. Again, like I always say, there's no excuses. See, and I always say this to my kids. We have a son. They have a brother that's autistic, and I love him. That's my dude. But I always ask him. He would switch places with you in a heartbeat. He would love to go to school and get an education. So there's no excuses why you can't get your education. There's no excuses why you can't make the honor roll or the Dean's List. Because believe me, he would love to switch places with you. So I keep telling them guys, that should be your motivation right there for your brother. Do the things for him that he can't do. Go out there and grind. I set certain rules. I expect them to be done. Another story. He just learned how to drive. My son just learned how to drive, and I knew that he wasn't gonna stay on campus, right? He wasn't gonna stay on campus, so I said he got to drive back and forth to school. I think he drives like 70 miles each day one way. I said, wow. I got to decide. I got to be comfortable knowing that he can drive up and down that turnpike, in that parkway. So what I did, we drove him up. I drove him up there a couple times. I drove him up there like 5-6 times together, so he can get used to it, right? But he needed to be, for me to be comfortable with him being able to drive back and forth to school, he had to be able to do it 25 times before school started. So the whole summer, I had him going back and down the highway, learn how to drive on the turnpike and on the parkway in New Jersey. So the last 10 times, 12 times, I made him do it by himself. Well, how do you know he did it by himself? I said, what you're going to do, stop on a certain street up there in Newark, and you're going to try to stop at the Popeyes. Bring me the receipt back. By him doing that, then I know he was up there. He knew there was expectations I had for him. See, kids, you have to tell them what you want done. I expect you to do it. Let's do it. There's no, oh, can you please do this? Can you please do that? No. You're going to do this. Again, why? There's a father in the house. Oh, we have our fun. Believe me, we have fun. We do our thing. But we don't play with education. We don't play with the rules, right? Because the house has to run with structure. Again, I say in the videos, we don't do drama in this house. By a child not doing what he's supposed to do, that's drama. as an extra headache, or he ain't talking, he's not listening to the teacher, he ain't going to class, he ain't showing up. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Why? That's extra drama. That's extra stress. Don't need stress. So again, men, we have to do better. We have to do better. Women, you have to do better. Can't make excuses because your child's there by himself. He's there by himself and the dad's not around, that you just let him do what he want to do. No. No, he can't do what he want to do. You have to be strong. Can't let guilt get in the way of you not raising them kids right. Father, dads, I expect you to be in their lives. Be in their lives. You don't have to be dealing with that woman. And if you start a new relationship with a new woman, that new woman, don't get jealous because he's in them kids' lives. You worried about if he's going to mess with that woman or whatever, stop it. Because that's what messes everything up. That new woman gets jealous because she's trying to be in his kid's life. He's afraid to talk to the lady, talk to the kids because she's going to get mad. Stop it. Men, be men. Talk to them kids, be in them kids' life, spend time with them. They got problems. You have the solution for them. It's so important. We know that every adult is not going to get along. But as men and women, when we bring these kids into this world, that's what we did. We got to be responsible for doing that. We got to make sure they're good. Now, if they get grown, you go do what you're going to do. You're going to have fun. But right now, our main mission right now is to make sure them kids are good. Keep them out of the juvenile. Keep them out of the cemetery. I'm tired of seeing them women with their sons, and the sons running the mom. This is what goes on. Have to hold the child accountable. Make sure he do what he's supposed to do. Make sure that he respects you. Men, make sure your son respects you. I see a lot of guys, some dudes, them boys don't respect you. Why? Because you're trying to be their friend. I'm not trying to be your friend. No. I gotta be your dad. We'll be friends later. When I come over to your house and eat up the steaks. Right? When we out there barbecuing and having a good time. We can be friends then. Stop trying to be these kids' friends. Stop telling them, hey, I'm going to go to the strip bar with my son. I'm going to have a drink with my son. I'm going to go to the deal. No, we don't do that. Because they'll lose respect for you. And one thing we got to keep that respect, right? We have to keep it. So men, get on your job. Black men, let's stay in our children's lives. So we can start reading about them in the newspaper. So we can start seeing them on the news first thing in the morning from them guys getting killed over in Philly or wherever they getting killed because they was out there riding bikes, doing whatever they was doing and got called up. Because why? Ain't no rules in the house. Ain't no dad in the house. Ain't no dad in the house. Mom, you got to have rules. They don't listen? Hey, call me up. Again, thank you for getting on the channel. Please share it. Please subscribe to the channel. You want to reach out to me? My email address is glowpowercmd72@gmail.com. Hit the link. But this is the type of message we need. Yeah, we'll keep working out. We'll be back on again tomorrow with the workout. But this is needed. This is needed. These type of talks. Real men talk. This was needed. Because people are afraid to say, hey, bro, get home. Get your butt home, do your homework. Where you been at? Hey, another thing I did here. my house is that I didn't put money in their pockets. If the school had the tickets to where you can put the money on their lunch card and they can swipe the card, put the money on the lunch card. They eat like that. Because I know that no drug dealer is not going to take no lunch card. No, he might give him a free joint once in a while, but he won't be buying it all the time. You're going to have cash for that, right? So if they got money on the lunch card, they have no money in their pocket, they can't buy no weed. Right? Give them guys a curfew. Give them boys a curfew what time they need to be home. If it's some time for football practice, you got football practice, I want you home by a certain time. Most of the time, the parents pick them up, whatever, bus drop them off anyway, right? So, give the kids a curfew. You shouldn't be worrying about what time they're coming in the house. Be home. So you can get your rest and sleep so that house could be settled at night, right? So there'll be some peace. Once you allow the kids to run the house, it's a wrap. You done. So handle your business, parents. Be parents. Stop trying to be their friend. Show them love. Hug them. Kiss them on the cheek. Kiss them on the head. I love you. That's going to go a long way. Until they would get grown. They're going to always remember that. My dad told me he loved me. My mom told me she loved me. My mom used to kiss me. Right? That's so important. It's needed. It's needed. I believe we have a lot. We won't have so much stuff going on with these children. We just show love. Give them what we were missing, right? Give them that love. Show them that love. Spend that time with them. Something they're going to always remember the rest of their life. When we are dead and gone, they're going to remember that we spent that time with them, that we showed them, we told them we love them. Just text me, I love you, bro. Right? Daughter, I love you. You're beautiful. You are beautiful. Our kids need that. Our daughters need that. You are beautiful. You don't want your daughter running into another man's arms because she thought she was never loved before, right? We don't want that. You tell her that you love her. You tell her that she's beautiful. So she ain't just running into every man that comes through there. Right? Stop the bullying, guys. Stop the bullying. We don't tolerate bullying. Let's get our mental right. Let's get our house right. Let's get these young men and women right. Let's get them right. Let's give them direction. Let's give them direction. They need direction. And it's our job as their parents to give them direction. Stop doing bad things around them. If you're getting high, don't get high in front of them. If you're drinking too much, don't drink much in front of them. Stop running the street. Get your butts home. Be in that house. So that house can be a stable household. So mama ain't worrying about where you at all the time, and she worrying about you, and she can't keep an eye on them kids. Again, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Again, we're gonna be doing more of these talks. We're gonna start this podcast right here, man. You know, I really appreciate you guys, but just that we needed real talk, and that's what these things will be about. Real talk. It's needed. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Tell your friends about it. After you listen to this and there's real talk, sit back and just think about it, man. This was needed. Doug Wynn is speaking the truth. A lot of people don't like to hear the truth. If you're going to do something, like I said earlier when we worked out before, you only be who you are. Be who you are. Be that parent. Be that friend. Don't be that friend. Be that parent. You can't be that friend, guys. They get grown, y'all cool. As long as they don't need to be a roof, and you feed them everything that you got to do for them, be that parent. They got to have orders, right? It's orders, right? There's laws. There's directions. Direct them. I want you in the house a certain time. I expect this of you. I expect these grades of you. They don't have to be, they're not going to be the greatest athletes. We know that. Everybody can't be that. but they can be an excellent student. You just have to enforce it. They need help, get them help. If they need help, get them help. Give them a tutor. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you know ain't nothing wrong with that kid, but just laziness, bro, gotta get on it. I suggest they read 4 times a week, a half hour, and have them give you a paper afterwards. Don't allow everybody up in your house eating all your food up. No, we don't need no. You gotta have order. Come home, do the homework, cut that PlayStation stuff out. That PlayStation stuff don't do nothing but make you stupid. Have to have order. They have to do your homework, schoolwork. You gotta do it. I know everybody's not gonna go to college. Some people might want to go to trade school, and that's good. Go to trade school, military, whatever you do. But you have to be productive. You have to do something. You just can't just be up in the house sleeping, eating up all the collard greens, eating up all the pig feet, all the grapes up in the house, right? While you working. Everybody gotta be working up in here or going to school. When we leave out the house, you better be going to the house, going to school or whatever. You can't be sitting in the house while I'm working, everybody else working, you sitting home. We don't do that. And they know that from day one. So that's something that we don't even have to discuss. You establish as a child when they're a child, they know all the rules. I had one nephew ask me, could he come live with me? I said, bro, I don't think you're ready for this. Why you say that, Uncle Doug? Because you're not used to this. We don't come home and play PlayStation. We do homework. So I wouldn't want to fall out of grace with you, man. Because you'll think different now. You'll think different of me. Because there's rules. They always ask him, well, how did he done it? Because he's used to it. That's all he knows is rules. He knows this is what we got to do. He knows he has to come on the house and and read, right? He knows he has to do his homework. He knows he fix himself something to eat. And he knew there was no PlayStation during school. Teaches discipline. You got to have discipline in life. You got to have discipline in life. And that's what we have in this house. You got to have discipline. Like I said, no drama. We don't do the drama. And we ain't too keen on sensitivity either. Right? So I love you guys. Again, thank you for reaching out to the channel. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Man, please hit the like button. Please share it with your family, friends. Tell everybody, man, Dougie's speaking the truth. Dougie is speaking the truth. Let's get it, guys. Let's get control back of our children. Let's get control back of our households. That's needed. It's missing too much in the urban communities. It's missing. That's missing, guys. We have to get it back. And it starts with the father. We have to look ourselves in the face, look ourselves in the mirror, and ask ourselves, are we doing the right thing by our children? Are we giving them enough guidance so they can become great men and women? That's the key. This is the next generation is going to take over, right? This was going to take over next. This generation is going to take over next. So we got to make sure they prepare. And hopefully, when we get older, they'll look out for us and make sure we're good. Because we raised them the right way. And they recognize the love that we gave them. And hopefully, they reciprocate that love to us. That's what's important. You know? This is Dougie Wynn signing off. Again, you want to reach out to me? Hit me at glowpowercmd72@gmail.com. I'll hit you back. You want to hit the comments? Hit me back on the comments. But again, man, let's share this, guys. This is great. This great stuff we got going on here. It's great stuff we got going here. Love you guys. Be safe. You know, and we chop it up again tomorrow. Love you guys. God bless you. Peace. One love.